morning, good afternoon, Crypto Cosmonaut checking in on this Thursday morning through the first week of December 2019. Markets were just closed yesterday. First time I ever heard of that. Totally closed down the U.S. markets for the remembrance of H.W. Bush Sr. for his funeral. It's almost feeling like winter down here in Florida. Gotta wear kind of a long sleeve shirt and all. But I guess it's my second try at doing a live video on YouTube. So prepared a little bit of stuff anyway to talk about. In the title, I talk about the age of accountability, coming to where we're at. Blockchain technology, business, individual. I mean, Bitcoin came out. We're going on 10 years in the white paper of Bitcoin introduced blockchain technology to us. What it's doing, or what it does, and what it will do continually, is it removes the human element. The smart contracts, they take care of it all. And the system is what you would call an autonomous system, autonomous entity. I think it's a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, but the disintermediation of all things. Coming to finance first. Finance is where we need it the most. Finance is where things have been suppressed since the beginning, really. This is where we're going to gain our monetary sovereignty. But what I want to talk about quickly is how business is going to be effective. And I'm talking about any business that keeps track of records. Yeah, that's all business. So if you got a database, the blockchain's made for you. And I mean, we're talking about, oh, happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. Coming by there. There he goes. You see him? The Hanukkah on the car. Light up like at night like a Christmas tree. Okay, where was I at? Removing the human element. The new complete industry standard is going to be the blockchain mandate. You know, truly, in order for blockchain to work and be mass adopted, by the words of a few smart people, is, you know, blockchain it's going to be something you don't even know it's blockchain. You're going to be using it, but it's going to protect businesses. It's going to protect individuals, and it actually, in this age of accountability, if you're not on point, and you're shady, and there's corruption, it's going to get found. It will be revealed. There's no hiding it. That's why the banks, you know, they don't want it. Well, you know, on the surface they oppose it. Jamie Dimon and Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, they all oppose it on the surface, and just by the influence of these, you know, highly influential people, whether they're iconic figures like these businessmen are, or just influencers, you affect the market in a big way. So they condemn it all, knock it all down. The whole retail event that went on last year, it was totally a retail event, it's all a hype event. It brought Bitcoin up to $20,000. I want to say the beginning of the year, it wasn't even $1,000, because last year was when I started putting my eye on it, and I didn't really get involved till the summer. But yeah, retail hype event, blowing it up there, and then the banksters and the iconic figures, they condemn it, among other things. You can talk about Mt. Gox, you can talk about how just any and every market can be manipulated to an extent, but Bitcoin's king. Bitcoin's king, and it's going to win in the long run. You just have to understand that. So that whole retail event, knocking it down, everybody, the Bitcoin gets knocked down from 20 grand in January, taken all year long, and now we're under 4, losing more than 80% of its value. But this whole way down, you had a third generation crypto that came out that was in the ICO phase last year called EOS. And EOS launched this past June, so it really didn't get to see much of a bull market. I mean, it did go up to $20, but the product wasn't even launched. It had no use case yet or anything. I mean, now you look at it, it's got a whole ecosystem and economy behind this. Every day that I look, I have a new airdrop or a new business. And there was information that I gather and I'll post on Twitter for just all the apps, all the businesses that are in the blockchain space coming onto the EOS platform. The EOS platform, what makes it great for mass adoption is you don't have the problem Ethereum had or Bitcoin has, and that's the scalability problem. Clogged up. The lines got clogged up when it was mad, when the markets were mad crazy. Ethereum wouldn't go through sometimes for a day and a half. Forget about it. EOS, instantaneous transactions. I think they're up to 4,000 TPS right now. 6-month-old market. It's really exciting. I just got the Parcel airdrop for a few different wallets. If you had more than, I want to say 100, even if you had some of these airdrops, you could just have one, and they'll give you 1-to-1. You might have to do some work and apply for the air grab. Because it's either an airdrop where they just drop it in your wallet, or you have to put some effort towards either an air grab. It'll cost you a little bit of RAM to do that, but even the RAM thing, you buy the RAM and the CPU and you have it stored there. You could play like games like RO Vegas. Play that for like a half hour, burns up a lot of CPU, so you better have, I think I got like 25 staked on the CPU, and you could play it for a little while, but it builds up, and I'm not quite sure why it's building up so fast. 80% CPU, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, so any business with a database, get on the blockchain, and the blockchain doesn't have to be a public blockchain like Bitcoin is, but that serves a whole total different purpose as far as finance goes and monetary sovereignty. Yes, that's a cryptocurrency, but EOS is a platform, and this platform here storing for databases. Let's see. increased security, as every action is audited and timestamped. You go to these social media platforms and you're an iconic figure like our president or a big entrepreneur like Bill Gates or an influential figure, and the platform could get hacked and make a statement as if it was you and could create problems when you may or may not have made that statement. If it was like a post on YouTube or Twitter, it was, and you didn't make it, there can't be an argument if it's if it was on the blockchain. Like centralized platforms like Facebook and Google, YouTube, these aren't centralized platforms. So however they can be manipulated, they very well could be. I mean, they're not blockchain social media. The only blockchain social media we have right now is Steemit, and I know it's not user friendly. I was on there. I had some steam. I mean, the platform proves itself as far as the actions taken on the platform are. Everything runs real smooth. It was the top three, or the top 2 or 3 were BitShares and Steemit for many a days. And now you look at on Blocktivity, and you'll see that EOS is number 1 with 44 million transactions or so. But the other ones up in that row are all related to EOS. Same developer, same CTO. Dan the man. Efficiency, security, reduce liability, regulatory compliance, timekeeping, accountability, and auditability. This is all stuff that's going to transform the crooked corporations. The corporations that are crooked, the governments that are crooked. I mean, the voting. Look at the voting. What's happened in our country with the voting, and that down there in Broward County, Florida. Over and over again, it's happening with these. Whether it's the voting machines or the people, but it's the human element. It's the human element that brings corruption, because of the heart is man. The heart of man is deceitful overall. So we remove the human element, blockchain, apply blockchain technology to business, finance, government. Woo! It's happening. It really is happening. And the political currency that is used, as Mr. Draper would put it, your fiat currency, is more and more becoming less and less. Even though they don't stop printing it. 60 billion a month they print. So we're still caught in that debacle too. This whole debt-based economy, the Keynesian economy, where the only way to maintain, the only way that it could survive, because it's like a drug addict, it needs more of the drug. So the only way debt can survive without crashing and self-destructing is more debt. And more debt in itself is a ticking time bomb. As some of us, I can't even say most of us, because it's like nobody knows. Hell, I didn't know for 40 years or more. Not paying attention to that stuff when you're doing life, I guess. But to be informed, and the truth, red pill truth, truth hurts, huh? Eh. The accountability of the blockchain is going to transform our society. We had the retail event in 2017. We already seen a glimpse of what Bitcoin can do for the individual. There's probably some with a sour taste in their mouth. Who wouldn't be if you got in at 20 grand and you I mean, and if you ain't wrote it down, and no matter which way it goes, you're miserable, because if you bought then and you still have it, it's like it still seems hopeless. But I mean, cyclical, just like anything else. Up, what goes up must come down. The markets are cyclical. This has happened multiple times. It can be frustrating, but if you get past the hodl and you get past the monetary aspect of things, and you look at the technology and how the technology could actually help improve all aspects of society, business, just like business, politics, vote, insurance, healthcare. I mean, it really is too good to be true, because ultimately I see positive things with blockchain technology. I mean, if you really step back and take a glimpse of what it has to offer and what it is doing in real time, it's going to be pretty amazing what happens in the next year or two. The only thing is, with the economy the way it's been, the debt-based economy, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, and I was thinking Mad Max bad for a while. But at least if you take the economy from a Keynesian perspective, all debt-based, and debt has to bring on more debt and bring on more debt to maintain. And then you had this tiny little market that is asset-based. It's fixed. It's fixed in its quantities, each and every currency. Each and every cryptocurrency is fixed in its quantity, except Ripple, I think. It's fixed in its quantity. Okay, it's scarce, and it's fungible. It has all the properties of what man has considered money over the past 5,000 years, gold and silver. And I know there's some gold bugs that still, maybe they don't get it. I mean, if Peter Schiff gets it, I don't think he's all for it, but a lot of the gold bugs are cryptos enthusiasts now too, because it's better than gold. From a logistics side, don't get me wrong, the tangible is very nice when it's in your hand. Very nice. Because I'm not sure how the market's going today. The market should be back open, and we're heading towards the weekend. The first week of December will be gone. Only 3 weeks left in the year. This is the 5th day of Hanukkah. 5th night, I should say. 5th night of Hanukkah. Because it's 8 crazy nights. Like Adam Sandler would sing. But all in all, it's when it comes down to the recognition, it's a recognition of course, the Messiah of Israel. Everything connects to him. And everything monetarily is going to connect to Bitcoin one of these days. Very nice. If, let's see, been running long on this right now, so I'll cut it off now and try to improve on what to talk about. Try to improve. Just try to improve. I mean, is that what we got to do? Daily? On the daily? Shin. It's the Hebrew letter Shin. El Shaddai. Yud-Heh Vav-Heh. Yeshua Mashiach. Take care. God bless.